B Shooter 94, and we're here with another Wednesday night Nitro here on August 22nd, 2001. We are still on the road to Fall Brawl as we conclude the summer here in WCW. And last week had one of the craziest endings to Nitro we've had since starting the save, where the return to WCW of Double J Jeff Jarrett, as he is the leader of him, Lance Storm, and BG James. So we're going to open the show this week. We're in front of about 3,300 people with our opening video package that we do every Nitro. And we're not changing the script too much here, but we are adding Jarrett to it as he is another big player instead of putting Paige this week, just to change it up a little. Again, guys, you have been fantastic keeping this going, so thank you for all of that. Just wanted to shout that out real quick before we really jumped into the show. And we open the show this week. Double J, Jeff Jarrett, comes down to the ring with the WCW Championship in hand, BG James and Lance Storm behind him. And he says that WCW needed Double J to come back. And as soon as the opportunity was there, I took it. And Booker and Paige, you were just wrong piece, the wrong time, collateral damage at best. The WCW Championship is what I'm after, and Booker T, unfortunately for you, my old friend, you had the belt in your possession. But now I do. And that is not going to change anytime soon, Booker. As that segment goes, Shane McMahon actually interrupts Double J Jeff Jarrett and says, Jeff, first off, welcome back to WCW, but not loving the way you're doing things, but I want to get this very clear to you. Booker and Paige are not here yet. I told them to arrive late because I knew you guys were opening the show. I'm making some announcements though. However, tonight, Jeff Jarrett, you're back in action here in WCW in the main event tonight against Diamond Dallas Page. And as for BG and Lance, next week, you're going to be in a tag team match against Booker T and a partner of his choosing. And that segment ends with a 71 overall, 69 for Double J's part. Shane got us a 72. Storylines advanced. Performance was great out of everybody here. This was all great stuff. This was more or less Jeff Jarrett's first promo since returning to the company. Big stuff here to get this started for Nitro. Let's keep the good momentum going as let's get the ratings starting here as we're ending the summer. And we open the show with a 6-man tag and a shocking return. So in a decent match, S.A. Aguilar, Juventud Guerrera, and Psicosis defeat AJ Styles and the Young Dragons in 12:31 when S.A. Aguilar pins Jimmy Yang with holding the ropes for leverage. During the match, AJ Styles got attacked by a hooded figure as he slammed him into the steel steps, to only have that hood come off and it be Shane Helms. Shane Helms has returned to WCW. We haven't seen Shane about a month, roughly, and he attacked the Cruiserweight Champion, AJ Styles. Before we get to that, let's kind of go through the match here. So the wrestling rating was a 52, the crowd a 36, the segment overall was a 58. Our ratings are as such. Juventud and Psicosis are way below their level. They're being a real pain in my butt backstage, so 39 and 40. S.A. Aguilar 55, AJ 72, Kaz a 50, Jimmy Yang a 55. Storylines have advanced. S.A. was off his game. We are going to fix this right here, though. So we're going to turn him heel and change his gimmick, which was awesome. So that's exactly what we wanted. So Shane Helms is turned heel on us here by attacking AJ Styles from behind. And that's what this next segment is. Shane Helms has returned. What does this mean? I mean, he went after the Cruiserweight Champion on his return. I don't remember having AJ and Shane having any issues. So this is clearly a shocking moment to have Shane Helms return. The Cruiserweight Championship story has advanced but lost heat, but 48 rating on that segment. Hopefully some more news and notes will come out of this return here. Backstage, Mike Awesome is in Shane McMahon's office and says Why was I not on Nitro last week? I'm the WCW United States Champion. I should be handed some respect around here, Shane. And Shane says, you know what? You're right. And I'll be real. Last week was a lot for me. And I forgot. So that's on me. But tonight I gave you an opponent, a local opponent, for you to be on the show tonight. But next week, Mike Awesome, I want you to prove to me that you are the best thing in WCW, as you say. So I want to see what you got tonight and prove it to me. So 59 on that little segment in the office with Shane and Mike Awesome. In a quick match, a poor match, Mike Awesome defeats James Storm in 6-12 by pinfall with an awesome bomb. James Storm is always one of the jobbers that we like to use. Wrestling rating of 48, crowd of 34, and the segment of 61. Mike Awesome got us a 67, Storm a 29, and the commentary lifted the match. As the match ends, Mike Awesome grabs a microphone and announces next week he is going to lay out an open challenge. Anybody for the U.S. Championship, come on down next week on Nitro. 51 rating on that from Mike Awesome. So he had a local guy this week. He's feeling pretty good about himself, so he has an open challenge next week for the U.S. title. Who is going to answer that? Backstage, we have Booker T arriving as RVD walks up to him and says, hey man, you know, I know I'm not really involved with the main event situation with Paige and Jarrett and all them, but I got your back if you want a partner next week, Book. And Booker T says, you know, I definitely appreciate it. I don't have an answer yet for you, but I'll let you know, and we'll go from there on you being my partner next week. Van Dam kind of does his nod, and that's a 75 segment, just a quick little backstage thing there. Both storylines have advanced, and RVD and Booker T were great on the mic. And in a decent match, Billy Kidman defeats Christopher Daniels in 9:31 by pinfall with a shooting star press following distraction from Torrie Wilson. Wrestling rating 56, crowd of 36, segment overall of 56. Kidman a 60, Daniels a 52, and the Kidman and Daniels star has advanced and gained heat, and the commentary lifted the match. So, guys, this is what we're doing here. I think you can kind of figure out where we're going, but this is going to be a feud that will finally end at Fall Brawl. We just got to get there, all right? So, good stuff out of the guys, though. I love that the Cruiserweight division has some depth now. Nothing to really talk about here other than great performance out of both men. Backstage, we see Rob Van Dam taken out backstage. He's knocked out, battered, and pretty beaten up out back. So, clearly, BG, Lance Storm, and Jeff Jarrett did not like that RVD wanted to be involved in their business, and they took him out. So 75 on that. So RVD looks like will not be teaming up with Booker T next week. That's very unfortunate. In a decent match, Chavo Guerrero Jr. returns to action, defeats Tommy Dreamer in 7:49 with a tornado DDT. Wrestling rating of 53, crowd rating of 41, and the segment overall of 54. Chavo a 54, Dreamer a 52, and the commentary lifted the matchup. Chavo's return to action here was successful. He had been out with a little bit of an injury, so we weren't trying to mess with him too much. That's why you saw a lot of promos out of Chavo. And a nice win over Tommy here. Tommy, again, you know, he's got that low mid-card spot on lockdown, so Chavo definitely needed this win here, in my opinion. Backstage, we have Bob Holly walking up to Jeff Jarrett, Lance Storm, and BG James, saying, hey, I got word that RVD wanted to be Booker T's partner, so hey, I took care of it for you. And Jeff Jarrett kind of smiles, and he's like, all right, Bob, you know, you and I go way back, and thank you for taking care of that for us. We appreciate it. You know, if there's a moment where we need you, you're our phone call. So it looks like Bob Holly is the culprit that took out Van Dam earlier in the night, not BG, Lance Storm, and Jarrett. So a little bit of a weird segment here. We are trying to slowly lead to Fall Brawl, so we're getting there with that. But 67 on the rating here, guys. Good stuff. Nice little tease promo here. And they all did great with all the storylines. No complaints at all. We get Booker T storming into Shane McMahon's office and says, Shane, Give me Bob Holly in the ring right now. And Shane McMahon says, okay. Booker T's obviously pissed that Bob Holly attacked Van Dam now that he saw that. And Booker T is getting to the ring and he's ready for a fight. 75 on the segment. Booker T versus Bob Holly coming your way right now. The storylines are all advancing. This is awesome. Let's go. Give me a good rating. Yeah, 79 rating. In a superb match, Booker T defeats Bob Holly in 12:34 by pinfall with a scissors kick. Wrestling rating a 76. Crowd a 63. Segment was a 79. Booker got us an 83. Bob Holly a 68. Deserved better color commentary. Take that with what you will. And Booker T benefited from the hot new move. So Booker T gets a little bit of revenge for his friend RVD over Bob Holly. But the problem is still the problem. RVD's taken out. Booker T has no partner for next week to face BG and Lance Storm. So that's still the kind of the elephant in the room here. We get a backstage promo from Roddy Piper with the WCW Tag Team Champions saying that they refuse to defend the WCW Tag Team Championships against anybody until Fall Brawl because they are big money players and Piper will not allow his clients to wrestle until it matters. Roddy Piper says, we did the funeral of the Road Warriors, and right now, clearly, there's no tag teams that deserve our business and deserve a shot at the Tag Team Championships. 60 rating on that, gained heat and advanced. So, Roddy Piper, O'Hare, and Palumbo are really trying to be the douchiest tag team we can possibly make them. Piper has been in a fantastic person to put with these guys, so I'm very happy where my tag team titles are going. But they're not completely wrong. I don't have a lot of opportunities for tag teams right now due to some injuries. So we will have to get a little creative here. In the tag team match, Shane McMahon, I guess, forced them into this, though, because Piper's not happy. But in a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling, Palumbo and O'Hare defeat Jindrak and Stasiak in 10:13 when Chuck Palumbo pins Mark Jindrak with a super kick. Yeah, Piper clearly did not help with this, but 49 rating, 40 from the crowd, 49 overall. Stasiak a 49, Jindrak a 42, Palumbo a 49, and a 56 for Sean. Jindrak and Stasiak has gained heat. Remember last week, Mark Jindrak did walk out on Sean Stasiak, and this week it looks like Stasiak kind of didn't exactly help Jindrak in this tag team match, which led to the loss to the tag team champions. So Piper and Stasiak both did great work at ringside. So yeah, lots of stuff here. Like I said, the tag team division is a little bit of a mess right now, but O'Hare and Palumbo, I guess, couldn't get out of this match that they were stuck in against former Brethrens and the Natural Born Thrillers. So Piper, I guess, going forward has made sure that his guys are not wrestling on Nitro. And in our main event of Wednesday Night Nitro, we have an bout that had great heat and decent wrestling. Jeff Jarrett defeats Diamond Dallas Page in 13 minutes by pinfall with roll-up holding onto the ropes. This was a storytelling matchup. Wrestling rating is 61, the crowd is 65, 66 on the segment. Both Page and both Page and Jarrett got a 61s, and both storylines have advanced. So Jeff Jarrett is successful in his return to the ring here at WCW over Page. Obviously, he didn't do it cleanly, but he still got the win. But post-match, we got some craziness going on here. So before I go to the next segment, I am going to kind of run through it. BG James and Lance Storm hit the ring as Booker T is also at ringside. We have a 3-on-2 beatdown on the path here. However, a man jumps over the barricade and hits the ring to come in for the save as Booker T's brother Stevie Ray has returned to WCW and has helped the babyfaces clear out the heels. So that's a 79 rating on Stevie Ray's return. Booker T grabs a microphone and says, next week, BG James, Lance Storm, you're not fighting just Booker T and Stevie Ray. You're fighting Harlem Heat in the main event of next week's Nitro. So let's book that right now, shall we? Let's book this. Booker T and Stevie Ray teaming together. Harlem Heat is back. Alright, Booker T, let's go. And Stevie Ray versus Lance and BG James. Oops. BG James. And we're going to name this Harlem Heat. Boom, that's our main event for next week's Nitro. So that's fantastic. What a shocking return. This show was definitely loaded with some returns. Don't get me wrong, guys. I definitely... but look at all this green here. This is fantastic. 78 overall in the ending of the show. So this show had Jeff Jarrett technically return, even though he returned last week. But this is the first time we've used him. Shane Helms returned and turned heel on AJ Styles. And Stevie Ray, Booker T's brother and Harlem Heat brethren, has returned and saved the baby faces to end the show. Let's see what we get for an overall show rating, shall we? And we got a 70. I wish it was a little bit higher. We did increase our popularity in 9 regions. And a lot to kind of go over in this show. I mean, you know, the opening, we found out about the main event, and now we have a tag match next week. Harlem Heat versus versus BG James and Lance Storm. Shane Helms returns and attacks the Cruiserweight Champion. We have an open challenge next week for the WCW United States Championship. You know, what's the partnership with Bob Holly, Lance Storm, BG James, and Jeff Jarrett? And, you know, what's going on with the tag team division? Piper's letting his guys just kind of get away with whatever they want. And Jindrak and Stasiak are not on the same page whatsoever. So hopefully y'all are enjoying the save, guys. Seems like you are, so thank you. Let's keep that like goal going, guys. Keep watching the videos, and we'll see you for the next Nitro as we close out August 2001.